Now it start. So Priya, you can start after unmuting yourself.
Okay, sir. Hello, everyone. Good morning. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the webinar, Cyber Unsafe, on behalf of the Computer Science Department of Miranda House, University of Delhi. Today, we have with us Dr. Gaurav Gupta, a scientist from the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. Dr. Gaurav Gupta is the first Indian to earn a doctorate in the field of digital forensics. He was bestowed with the Young Scientist Award of the Indian Science Congress in 2010 by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He has recently authored a book about the same, titled Cyber Unsafe. We welcome you back to Miranda House, sir. We had a wonderful session with you last time too. I am Priya Singh, the Vice President of Computer Science Department, and I will be your moderator for the webinar. Before we begin the webinar, there are a few guidelines participants have to follow so that the session can be run smoothly. The participants have not been allowed to unmute themselves during the webinar in order to avoid any kind of interruption. Once the talk gets over, we will have a question answer session in which all those who have queries can either use the chat box to type their questions or they can raise their hands and they will be called upon to ask their questions. Also, the feedback form will be circulated in the chat box in the end of the session, and all the attendees are requested to fill the same form to receive their certificates. Now, let us begin. I would like to request Gaurav sir to take over.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be back, and I'm just sharing screen. Just a second. Can you see my screen?
Not yet, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, now we can see you, but not the screen.
Just a second. I'm just resharing it. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
You can see the screen, right? Blue color.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm very happy to be here. During pandemic, our dependence on technology has increased, and that has caused, a little more safety issues, incidents, and cybersecurity related concerns which are coming to the forefront. And I will be mainly focusing on those, right? So I will be discussing about how cyber criminals are doing frauds, how what all can we do in our daily life to avoid frauds, as well as being in academic setup today. I will also highlight what are the problems which require solution to be developed by the academicians, which you can take up as your internship problem statements, or a thesis, or summer project or something like that, right? So there will be ideas which can be taken up by the students, which can help them develop interesting solutions, which can enhance their CV, which can enhance their knowledge, and they can contribute back to the society by developing newer solutions for making cyber world more safe. So that is the basic focus. There will be few things which I will ask in between. You can probably type, or maybe the moderator can help me in terms of reading out something people are telling. And few things I would like you to read also to set the context. Right. So I'm very happy to get this opportunity. Now let's start with something. Can you tell me which one do you think is less risky, or which one will you click if I ask you to click one of the website? Which website will you go feeling secure? Anyone? Type in chat box. I think all are fine. what are the issues you can see?
Sir, most of them are writing Google.
Okay. So let me just go through each one of them one by one. First one, ozone.ru, is like the Flipkart or Amazon of Russia. So this is a genuine website where you can go and do shopping, but this is more popular in Russia. Rest all websites are fake. Can you tell me why? The second one is not yahoo.com. It is yah00.com. These two O's are not O's, these two O's are zeros. The third one is sp1.co.in. It's not spi.co.in. Can somebody tell me the problem in fourth? What is the issue with the fourth one?
That it should be ONGC, I think.
ONGC. Last one is not Google, it is again g00gle.com, right? So if I give you one of the websites in the normal course of transaction, it is very difficult for our eyes to differentiate between O and 0 and 1 and I. At times, letters are interchanged like OGNC or ONGC. So what happens is humans are having a very peculiar way of doing things, right? We don't go character by character, and I will show you two further examples going forward, right? But I will reserve it for a while. Again, I will have one more question. What makes cybercrime possible for criminals? Think about it for a second. What makes cybercrime possible for criminals? Is it technology? Is it laws? Is it something else? What do you think? Just think about your possible answer in your mind. You may type in chat also if you want. But then, there are multiple correct answers to it. For any question which I'm going to ask today, there will be more than one correct answer, right? And I will tell you what are the correct answers in that case. So in this case, according to me, the prominent correct answers are, it is us, cyberspace users. We are not aware enough. We are not vigilant enough, and we are not careful enough, because of which cyber crimes are happening. There is one more reason, and that one more reason probably is convergence of technologies to provide convenience. Human beings, again, if you see any development which is happening around us, is happening because we all want convenience. We had we had landline phones long back, but then we wanted to get rid of wires, right? We wanted to make sure phone goes with us anywhere and everywhere, and that's where we invented feature phones, the mobile phones which came into our life, and we were doing fine, right? But then somebody wanted to do board on the phone. They wanted not to carry multiple devices. For example, let's say if you are going on for a holiday in year 2001, what all will you take with you in terms of digital devices? A lot many things. You will carry with you a handycam, a digital camera, a digital diary, a music device like a Walkman, and some kind of alarm clock, and so on, right? You will carry 8, 10 different devices which will work individually to give you a functionality. For photograph, it's digital camera. For video, it is handycam and so on, right? So you were having many devices, but today, humans wanted to carry only one device, and we converged everything into one single device, which is a smartphone. So smartphone is my camera, smartphone is my video recorder, smartphone is my alarm, smartphone is my musical device. Whatever I wanted to do, I can actually do today in smartphone. So all these technological devices has converged to one single piece, which is my smartphone, right? But then, we are seeing a lot of new smartphones coming every day, right? Every now and then, the speed of change of technology has increased. We are not satisfied with what we have, right? We want more to be integrated into the same device, and that is where the evolution of smartphone is happening, right? Now, what has happened is, if you think how many sensors go inside smartphone, it is enormous. Once upon a time, smartphone was only a big smartphone. Then we started to put, let's say, accelerometer or a gyroscope to find out the orientation of the device. Now it can count how many steps have you walked. The modern day smartphones and the wearable devices can also find out whether you are running, whether you are doing exercise, you're riding a bicycle, or what is your heart rate, whether you slept well or not, what was your deep sleep cycle. So they are recording, I think, a lot of information about all of us. And this is not stopping here. Things are changing still. People still want more to be conversed. People still want more convenience to be provided by these technologies. And I will discuss going forward how this results into frauds, how this results into our carelessness, and those things I will discuss. So one more reason, according to me, is rapid speed of change of technology which is happening. And this rapid speed of change of technology is happening to provide you more convenience. You want more from your phone? That's where these companies do research, find out new features and new sensors and new possibilities, and then they integrate all these things into your phones and devices which you are using in your day-to-day life, right? So the technological changes which are happening for your convenience is one of the reasons, because you are getting so much of new things for which you do not know how to control them, how to secure them, how to probably use them. It's like your phone has hundreds and thousands of features. Do you use all of them? Each one of us only use 5 to 10% or 20% of the features or the sensors and or the facilities provided by these technologies. So rest 80% at times either we are not aware or we are not using. In both the cases, those are the places which criminals use to do fraud against us. Right? So it is us cyberspace users, technology users, who are not aware at times, who are not sure about certain things, which allows criminals to do computer frauds and cyber crimes. And one example I gave, and I will be giving many more examples going forward. So this is the basic idea, right? I've seen over a period of time that frauds are happening because technological changes are very, very fast compared to what a user can understand and actually, use in his life, and that is where frauds are happening, right? So one more thing which is happening according to me, which is common among computer fraud and cybercrime, is that criminals are exploiting your emotions. If we all were robots, I'm sure most of the crimes will not happen, because being robot, you don't apply your emotions. You only apply your logic and the programs and the way you have been asked to do right things. But in case of human beings, we have sympathy. If somebody is having an accident, we are going to help them without worrying about that something can go wrong or not, right? So same thing which criminals of the cyber era have understood, that if you have to do, they have to do fraud against technology users. They need to exploit emotions, because emotions give you
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sir, the participants are saying voice is not clear. I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
No issues. I will come a little closer and probably I will shut down my video. Will that help?
Maybe we can try, sir.
Yeah. Is it better now?
Is it better? Is it better? One of you can answer.
Can you hear me better now?
I think so, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I'll request other people to also, switch off their video while sir is speaking, so that the channel width is better.
Okay. So criminals are exploiting the emotions, and emotions are, I will discuss some of the emotions. They exploit our emotion of trust. Let's say if somebody is calling from the bank and then he tells me that, okay, sir, I'm calling from the bank and you have done transaction of 5,000 rupees yesterday. As soon as he tells me something which I have done, I think the person is calling from the bank, and then I trust that person. At times, criminals find out about the previous transactions. They find out our patterns, how we are using banks, and let's say if you're withdrawing money from the bank through ATM. After withdrawing money, most of us throw away that slip which comes out, right? That slip tells me what is the amount which I have withdrawn and what are the last 4 digits of my account. And let's say if that person calls me saying, I'm calling from the bank and you have withdrawn 5,000 rupees from XYZ ATM at 8 o'clock, it also contains time, then you think that person is calling from the bank and you gain trust of that person, and then at times you share your OTP and frauds happen. I'm sure greed, you must have seen example of greed, that you all might have got emails stating that you have won a lottery or you have inherited something, or you are you're getting something for free because you are the privileged customer, and all such kind of stories which incite your greed to do the fraud, right? Panic. These criminals are very smart. They know, people are scared, and when they are scared, they do mistakes. So what they do is they will call the elderly people or the housewives or the people who are not very, tech savvy, and they will tell them that, okay, I'm calling from bank and your account will be blocked. If you don't do KYC or if you don't share this particular OTP in next 5 minutes, your account will be blocked, and so on, right? So they will develop new stories which are using threatening kind of scenarios where account is blocked or your money is taken away. Kind of threats are given to the innocent users, and they fall for these kind of frauds, right? Then they also exploit your emotion, which is fear of missing out. We as a human have this tendency that if something which is too good, we want it immediately. So what they will say, this offer will expire in 5 minutes. I'm giving you 90% discount. If you don't act in 5 minutes, this offer will expire. So idea is they do not want you to think. They don't want you to consult anyone. That's where they will give you a window of very, very small time where they will ask you to act. And if you do not act in that small window of time, there will be problem. And if you do something in that short window of time, they will ask you to click on a link. They will ask them to share a OTP, and they will ask you to do something which will ensure that you are conned. And that is what, again, one more emotion which they are trying to, exploit. They're exploiting threat kind of scenarios, like, they will say that, somebody who is near and dear of yours is in danger. So, what happens is, let's say, let me tell you one small, thing which we all do in our daily life. Let's say if your phone is stolen, can somebody tell me what will you do first? Will you report it to like police, FIR, or else what all will you do once your phone is stolen? Anybody? Can somebody unmute and tell me what will you do if your phone is stolen?
Sir, Mayank is writing that find IMEI number first. Shubham is writing that he will report. Someone is writing telecom provider to block SIM. Go and check my mobile IFSC code.
Okay, great. So you all are thinking, but I think the correct answer is that if you have, let me tell you what can go wrong. Let's say if I am the criminal, if I steal your phone while you are looking for your phone in your home or your office or wherever you have lost it, or else you are trying to find the IMEI number and you are going to police for filing an FIR, what I will be doing is I will take out the SIM from your phone. I'll put it to a new phone which I have. Then I will switch on the phone with your SIM in my phone and give a call to one of my friend to figure out what is your number. Because once I call from my phone with your SIM to my friend, on his screen, whatever number will flash is the number of your SIM, right? Once I know the SIM number, the mobile number of yours, I will install WhatsApp on this particular phone, which is my phone with your SIM. After installing WhatsApp, there will be an SMS-based authentication. Since your SIM is active, the WhatsApp account will be activated, which means your WhatsApp account will be deactivated on all other sources. Now I can send out, because your SIM will have phone numbers also. So all those people whose phone numbers are stored in the SIM, I will send out request saying, okay, this person, I have got this person to hospital. He has been hit by a car and the doctor is asking money to do the surgery. And this is my Paytm number. He will give his own Paytm number, requesting for money to all the known people who are there in your SIM stored as phone numbers, right? So it can be done in next 5 minutes, right? As soon as I get your phone, I can do all this in 5 minutes. And people who are there, who are your near and dear ones, they will get panicky, right? And some of them will transfer money also. They will not have any means to contact you because your phone is now not reachable, right? So ideally, the person who wrote that they should go to the service provider and block the SIM at the fastest is the right answer. You can do tracking of the SIM through IMEI and filing an FIR, reporting it has been lost. All this can happen later on. The first thing which has to happen is to block the SIM. Even though you have misplaced the phone in your home and there is a chance that you can get it back. You can always get your SIM reactivated later on. or get a new SIM. But chances of misuse are high if your SIM is given to somebody who is a criminal, and he can do a lot of bad things. Hence, even though you may not be sure your phone is lost or not lost, and if it is not traceable, please block your SIM first. Right? Disruption. This is also very important emotion. Whenever something new comes in our life, whenever there is a change, we are not sure what to do, because that is not our comfort zone. So for example, 2 years back, RFID became mandatory to pass through the toll collection points on highways, and people did not have RFID tags till the very last day. Then when people realized that tomorrow onwards they can't take their cars through the toll plazas, so what they did is they started searching on Google, how to get RFID and all these things. Criminals are smart. When they know something is changing, on the very last day, they have fake websites. They have fake websites, and they have phishing URLs. They send out messages to people saying that, okay, I can give you RFID on 50% discount delivered to your home. Similarly, when demonetization happened, wallet related fraud started to happen. Digital wallet related fraud started to happen. Now vaccination is happening, right? So that people get messages saying, we will give you priority vaccination slots, and you will get an SMS. Share that SMS and we will book you a priority vaccination slot. So these kind of new stories around any change which is happening in our life keep on coming. The idea is with these stories, these criminals want you to either click on a phishing link or share your confidential information, including your OTP or Aadhaar number or PAN number. Basically, they are getting data which can be used to do a financial fraud, right? So I have not seen a fraud till today, which is a computer fraud or a cyber crime targeting people, which does not have emotions involved. So the very simple thing to remember is, if you get any such call or any such attempt where somebody is trying to invoke your emotions, you need to take a step back. You need to slow down, because they don't want you to slow down. If you slow down and if you think and ask yourself, is there somebody who's trying to invoke my emotions to do fraud? If the answer is yes, then do the cross check. Take your time, because criminals will not have time. They will not let you think more. So if somebody is pushing you hard, don't get pushed. So in case of any doubt, back out from that digital transaction. Do it little later so that you can understand whether a fraudulent activity is going on or not, right? So as I was telling that, criminals weave a lot of stories, and they keep on changing stories. They will have a story today, and then they will change the story after they have conned lot many people using the story, because they know that story will be circulated and shared among many people, but the underlying principle of emotions will not change. So they keep on changing their stories. So sometimes they will tell that they are calling from the bank, and that was the fraud which was being done. Later on, what started to happen is, the next part of the story for trust is, you will get an SMS on your phone saying somebody is trying to do a transaction of $100 on your credit card or a debit card or account, and then you will get a message saying your bank has detected that this is a fraudulent thing going on, and they have stopped this transaction. After 5 minutes, you will get a call saying, I'm calling from your bank. Somebody was trying to take your card and was trying to do a malicious transaction, and we have blocked it. Now I will transfer your call to the other section where you can block your card and share the OTP to get a new card issued, so that no further transaction can happen. So what has happened is, this time they have told you that they have stopped the fraudulent activity. You will be happy. Your emotions of happiness will be triggered, and you will now be trusting that person, saying, okay, they have saved your money. And then now you will follow whatever they say, which means now they are asking you to give OTP to issue a new card, whereas they are asking this OTP to actually do a fraudulent transaction. That first SMS was not from the bank. First SMS was from the criminals, which were looking like it is coming from the bank, and so on, right? So the idea is, every now and then these stories will keep on changing. What will not change is that they are exploiting your emotions. So as long as you can detect that somebody is attacking on your emotion, you can almost always understand that a fraudulent activity is going to happen, and you can stop it, right? And we are in a world where, once upon a time we used to say, that aankho dekhi and kano suni will be always be true. But today, this will also not be true, because people can make, false audio, video, images, anything and everything can be counterfeit. Using artificial intelligence, image morphing softwares, you can change anything, right? And I will show you through examples that how these can be changed. So we should not believe everything which we see and everything which we hear. We should take it with a pinch of salt, assuming that people might have tempered the audio, video, text, and images or news, maliciously using softwares, which is not very difficult to do today. Right now, I will just briefly discuss. Most of the time we only treat symptoms. We don't treat root cause, right? And if we don't treat root cause, the problem will persist. So we should not only worry about stories. We should also find out what are the underlying principles using which these crimes can be investigated. So we are very famous principle of cause effect principle says if there is an effect, there has to be a cause, right? So if you try to find out what is the cause, that will be the first step in starting investigation of an incident which you have been, carry out. Then there is one very famous principle known as Locard's principle. And what does Locard's principle say? That it says every contact leaves a trace. That means you cannot come into contact of an environment without changing it in some way. Let's take example that let's say right now I'm speaking, right? And tomorrow I want to deny that I was the person who was talking here. Now what all you have is a video recording, right? So now when I'm speaking and let's say my voice was low initially and now it is not probably that low, that means it is being captured by a microphone. So this microphone is capturing my voice and sending it to you. That recorded voice will have, this microphone may not be perfect. None of the microphone is perfect. So each microphone will have some defects which your ear cannot differentiate. So you are hearing me fine, but there might be, if you do the digital signal processing of the audio which you are getting, you will see there are minor defects in that audio because those defects are coming because of the defect in my microphone, right? So you can always find out using which particular microphone I'm speaking. For example, let's say if I'm talking to you from my phone, you will know that the defects of my phone are unique, and defect of the phone, if I'm using someone else's phone, will be different because his phone or his microphone will have different defects, right? So similarly, let's say if you are seeing me on video, the web camera which is capturing my photograph or the video, how does camera work? In camera, it is capturing light, and there are millions of pixels. Millions of pixels means millions of small dots of color which are captured and shown as picture, right? So a picture is combination of multi-million pixels depending on how many megapixels the image is. So if it is 1 megapixel, that means 1024,000 pixels are there, and those many pixels in any of the camera will not be working fine. So in each camera, there will be 5, 10, 20 pixels which will be dead or defective, and that is unique to a particular camera. So each camera will have a unique defect which is coming in the final product, which is the video or the image. And if you know that these defects are
Sir, you are not audible.
Maybe he lost his connection. Let us wait.
Sir,
Sir,
joined
No,
again.
Tarun, now sir's video is coming, but audio is not coming.
Sir, please allow sir to unmute himself.
हाँ,
Make
sir,
him-
please unmute, sir.
एक मिनट.
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Now we can hear you.
Yeah. Actually, my power of desktop went off. I'm joining from mobile while I switch on the desktop again. I can continue here meanwhile, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I was telling is that, audios and videos all can be tempered, and we can uniquely identify a camera or a microphone which has been used to make a video or an audio, which means Locard's principle holds true. It also holds true. Let's say if I give you a certificate, let's say if I print out a document using my printer, the document will look fine to you, but then document will have some defects which are coming from the printer. So each printer will also leave its own signature, its own mark in the document which is being printed by a particular printer. So given hundreds of documents, you can always find out which particular printer, which particular scanner has been used in generating a document. So anything being generated today can be uniquely identified through the properties which are coming into that particular outcome. So a printer is giving its signature onto a paper. An image is being taken by a camera. The camera is giving its defects into the final photograph. Audio defects are coming. The microphone defects are coming into a audio being recorded by it. So any activity which is happening in digital world is also capturing the source through which this particular piece of artifact is being generated, right? And that is easily investigable. You can always investigate that, okay, something has gone wrong, and if somebody has done fraud or somebody has done malicious activity, you can always use these tools, these technologies, which are like computer science principles of image processing and digital signal processing. Such kind of solutions can be used to detect that who has done this crime, who has made this fake video, who has made this fake audio or a fake document or a counterfeit document. So all of these things are possible, and we can probably investigate. And then talking about the book, I've written a book which is also titled as Cyber Unsafe. It is available on Amazon. So what I've done here is I have seen that a lot of frauds were happening. Some frauds happened with my neighbor, some frauds happened with one of my student, and some of my known relatives. I realized that people are being exploited through their emotions for various kind of crimes, and people are not aware about these stories. They don't know what all frauds are going on, what all frauds are happening, and how they are happening until they read about it. It's like if I tell you about something today, tomorrow if somebody tries to do that fraud to you, you will take precautions, you will survive. But if you have not heard about it, then there are chances that a criminal will succeed. He will be able to do fraud. And that's how I thought, okay, let me write all possible prevailing frauds, whatever frauds I can think of, which can happen in digital world. I've taken them. I've written small stories and real world stories, as well as some hypothetical stories of how something can go wrong. And then I have also given some non-technical solutions of how to survive those frauds. For example, let's take an example. Let's say you come to meet me for something, right? And you have to pay me 10,000 rupees. You're not carrying cash while traveling, and you are there in my office. And how do you give me money? I'm not taking any digital payments. Now you have to go to ATM and withdraw money. You will go to an ATM outside my office. You will put your card. You will then type your PIN, and you will, let's say, try to withdraw 10,000 rupees. Now what happens is, machine says there is no cash. What will you do? If there is no cash, you will go to some other ATM machine, and you will withdraw money from some other ATM machine, and then you will give it to me, right? Now, next day, you get in 2 SMSs that 40,000 rupees has been withdrawn twice from your account. Let's assume 40,000 rupees is the maximum limit your account has, which can be withdrawn. Can somebody tell me how those withdrawals have taken place? You withdrew some amount to give it to me. You went to 2 ATMs. Now tell me what has gone wrong. Anyone? Can somebody tell me? What might have happened in this case?
Sir, Abhishek is writing ATM hacked.
Okay.
Glitch. Someone
Anyone else?
from the first ATM.
Okay, it's a good try. Probably not very easy to do. There are much easier way because one thing. Let me again make a statement. Criminals are very creative and very lazy. They want to do things which is very easy. They don't want to do anything which is time consuming, costly, or which requires a lot of effort. Now tell me what might have gone wrong.
Pin
Not
got
difficult.
captured.
Pin
Someone
got
is-
captured. Okay. So these are all good tries. What has happened is, what is the cost of an ATM machine? ATM machine is not very costly. You can buy an ATM machine in 5 lakh rupees today. So let's say, what has happened in some of the cases is a person who is a criminal, he buys one ATM machine in 5 lakh rupees. He brands it like, let's say SBI or HDFC. He puts all those stickers and he visits the normal ATM machine and sees what all is there. Now what he does is he puts this ATM machine 11 o'clock in the night into the small cart or small truck and keeps it somewhere at a busy place where people change. It's like outside bus stop or in a training institute or outside a place where same people are not coming every day. Now let's say you go and use this ATM. You will put your card. ATM machine will read the card information. Right now what will happen is, now you will put your PIN. It will record the PIN and it will say no cash. Now you'll go to some other ATM, withdraw money and go home. Now what will happen is, let's say in a day 100 people have used this ATM machine, and in the night the criminal will come back. He will come back and he will take back this ATM machine at home. He will then download all the card information which is there. He will also download all the pins, and now he will make new cards with your card information, all those 100 cards which it has recorded. It will also after making 100 cards, he will go to a normal ATM machine and withdraw money because he also has recorded your PIN. So 100 people's card and PIN is there, and it will withdraw money twice. It will withdraw at 11:55 in the night, and then it will withdraw 12:05 also again in the morning. Because as the date change happens, you can again withdraw money from your account, right? So he's withdrawn money twice. Now can you tell me what can be done to safeguard? What can you do to safeguard from this problem as a user? Any idea? So how do you know whether the ATM is real or not real? A very simple solution, one of the very simple solution is, you put your PIN wrong once in every ATM when you visit. Now what will happen is, since the machine, which is not a genuine machine, can it go to server and check your PIN? No, because it is a fake machine. It is not connected to the network. So if a machine tells when you put your PIN wrong, it says no cash instead of saying wrong PIN, that means this machine is problematic. Any genuine machine will not tell you that it is no cash, because it will first check your PIN from the back end, from the server. And once the PIN is correct, then only it will proceed further for any transaction. And that is how we can safeguard. So I am connecting from other computer. Can you please allow me there?
Yes sir, आप screen share कर सकते हैं ना? अच्छा, फिर
Yeah, I will also be sharing screen. So this much time, it took to computer to boot up again. Can you see my screen again?
yes,
Yes.
it is visible.
Okay. Yeah. So one solution I told you about, that you can give wrong PIN. So make it in practice that whenever you are using any new ATM or any ATM, put your PIN wrong once. If machine says no cash or anything other than wrong PIN, you should not continue there. Your card may be compromised, your PIN is not compromised. So your amount will not be withdrawn. Later on, you can change your card also parallelly, right? So this is one step which you can do. Second is, you can always go to the bank's website to find out what are the ATMs it has installed and where it has installed. Because any ATM which bank installs, it also keeps a record onto the bank's website that this is a website, this is a place where my ATMs are installed. So you are, let's say, in Connaught Place in Delhi, and if you search, let's say, for SBI ATMs in Connaught Place in Delhi from SBI websites, it will tell you, okay, how many ATMs it has installed in Connaught Place with their addresses, right? So these are the two things which you can do. This we have discussed, and look at this we have discussed, right? So as I was saying, criminals are most creative but very, very lazy people on earth. So if you make their life difficult, they will leave you around. They will not come back to you. They will try to find out more people against whom they can do frauds, and this can be used to develop solutions against them, right? And then, when I'm saying they are very creative, they're extremely, and I will give you more examples of how creative they are. Let's take example of social media. I'm assuming all of you use social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, and somebody who is not using social media is a rare commodity today, right? Do you all, I'm assuming you all post photographs and, eating home cooked lunch, enjoying at home or celebrating at home, and you post those photographs, right?
Yes, sir.
And you also post photographs that going to Goa for a week, right now at international airport, or wherever you are traveling, you post photographs of those places also.
Yes, sir.
Now, only 2 photographs, I can do a lot of misuse. Let's say if you are sharing 2 photographs of enjoying a home cooked food, from that photograph I can extract what is your home location, because most of the phones or the cameras by default embed GPS location of the photograph being taken. So I know from where this photograph has been taken. That means I know your GPS address of your home, and then you are posting you are going to go for 7 days. This also tells me that your home is empty and nobody is there. So I know your home address through GPS location, and I know that you are going to Goa. That means I can go home and do a robbery. I also know that you are traveling in flight. Let's say that you are posting a photograph from airport. I know there are only 2 flights which are going to Goa. One is going at 2 p.m. another is going at 2:30, which means if I try at 3 o'clock to try to do internet banking related fraud against you, your phone will not be reachable. You will not be getting any SMSs, right? So criminals do a lot of mining of social media to gather information, and that is where I recommend that you might be having hundreds of friends. So any friend whom you don't know personally, whom you have not met in your life, some people download photograph of celebrities and put some name and make a social media profile and send out invite, and at times we accept. So any friend whom you have not met personally, you are not sure, and he's there in your friend list for some reason, review it, and if it is not required, probably remove it, because they might be collecting a lot of information about you. They will be mining your social media profile to gather information which can be misused against you at times. Right, internet and gaming addiction. This is again something which is impacting all of us, and especially the young people. These companies who are making these games, or who are making all these kind of social medias, their philosophy is more time you spend on screen, more time you are engaged to the applications, they are going to get more revenue. So more clicks, more time spent on these apps and games will be more business for these companies. So what they do is they design these things in a way to keep you hooked. They design in these things in a way that you do not want to leave this in between. You want to continue and continue. So this addiction at times is having impact on your mental health, right? Along with your physical health. Since you are sitting and playing games, you are not going outdoor. It is impacting both your mental and physical health, and that is not very good. So we must understand internet, smartphones, and all digital technological enhancement should be used as tool. They should not become your master. So if they start dictating you in terms of by sending you a notification, you are hooked to your phone. And for every time your phone have any notification, even though you are doing some important work, you go and check your phone. That means you are addicted. That means you are hooked, and you are playing in their hands. So idea is you should have some digital detox time. You should keep away. You should make sure that in a day for 2 hours I will not use internet. I will not see my phone until it is something, only the phone calls which are coming. So all other things I will not use. So you have to start controlling your digital time by doing digital detox. That is also important for your mental and physical well-being. Right? Now, one important thing which is being done by these criminals is they are luring you by providing you things free. For example, let's say you are traveling. Let's say you are going to Goa and you were taking a lot of pictures and sharing on social media. The impact would be your phone battery will run out, right? Let's say you are at the airport and your phone is having only 5% battery. What will you do? What will you do first thing? You will look for a place to charge your phone, right? And in those places, in public places, there are these companies who are providing charging stations where they have all kind of wires coming out, and you can choose which one fits in your phone, and you can charge your mobile phone or your electronic device, right? This is a free charging station, and that is where they are doing frauds. What is happening is, once you connect your phone, they can put a malware in your phone, which can steal your passwords, which can steal your credit card information, which can also steal your data, which is there on your phone, photographs, and so two things. They're stealing your data, they're installing malwares, viruses, trojans, which can be again used to steal your information. Now, what should you do if your phone is on low battery and you can't survive without phone, right? So the idea is, the very simple solution is, don't charge your phone with these charging stations. First, charge your power bank. Once you charge your power bank, use your own cable to charge your phone from your own power bank, because power bank does not have an operating system. That means power bank cannot be infected with the virus. Power bank does not have any data which can be stolen by these companies. So that is one way, one easy non-technical way of surviving. Assuming you don't have a power bank, at least switch off your phone before putting it to charge. This way it will charge faster, as well as once the phone is in switch off mode, again the malware cannot be installed because right now phone is dead off. Right? So these free things, there are a lot of examples. For example, let's say if you get a pen drive near your car in parking lot, what will you do? You're coming out of a movie and your car is parked inside the mall, and as soon as you are about to get into your car, there are pen drives lying at the entrance of your car door outside. What will you do? Tell me. Anyone? Will you do something? No? Will you pick up the device?
Some are writing, we will check it, give them to the security. Someone is writing, I'll throw it in the dustbin, ignore them.
Since I'm talking about frauds, now you're getting what needs to be done. But what happens is, I've seen 70 to 80% people, or more than that at times, taking that drive, connecting it to computer, even though you have a good intention of returning it, you still want to connect and find out there might be some information about the owner. But believe me, these devices are intentionally thrown there. All these devices are infected. As soon as you connect to your computing device, they infect them with viruses and trojans. And then a continuous cycle of capturing all the information which is there on your computer, your passwords, and then that device will keep on recording keystrokes. It contains keyloggers, and all of your data will be logged, and your important information will be shared using your own internet, because it is connected to your computer. It will use your internet and send out all the keystrokes captured to the people who have designed it, right? So anything free should ring alarm bells in your mind, right? You should have red flag. Whenever somebody is saying free, be cautious, right? And then, people are using technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning to develop, very, very real world fakes. I will show you example. Let me show you more. I will stop sharing this one, and I will reshare my screen. Okay, I'm sharing the browser. Can you see my browser?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there is a website. This person does not exist. Can you see it?
Yes, sir, we can.
So let's see, if I click this web page, what will happen is it will show me something, right? So it is showing me a picture of a person. This person is not a real person on this photograph is not of a person from Earth. This has been imaged by a GAN. GAN is a generative adversarial network, a deepfake technology. Now what has happened is somebody has written a program to generate human faces. The program has been given 1 million faces to learn. And once it has learned, now this program on refresh will generate a new face, and this person also does not exist on Earth. I will keep on refreshing, it will keep generating photographs, and these people do not exist on Earth. Now what can happen is, as a criminal, I can download these photographs, I can save this photograph, I can give this person a name, I can make a fake profile in the name of this person on a Facebook or a Twitter. I can send out a request to you, and I can name this person as John, and I can say he's working for NASA, and then I will send out a request to you. If I send out this request to 1 million people, 10,000 will accept without knowing who this person is. Now this profile, which is connected to now 10,000 profiles, they are getting information from those 10,000 profiles, their updates, their photographs, and then they will try to do fraud against them, right? So this is that I was saying that, you can't believe something which you are seeing by your eyes. Aankho dekhi can also be fake. This person does not exist on this earth. So these kind of frauds are also happening, right? So let me go back to my presentation. I hope you can see it, right? So we need to now develop next generation solutions which can detect that this person, this face, this photograph is not real. It is imagined by a computer rather than taken by a camera. So these kind of solutions are required. So this could be a research area. This could be a problem statement which you can take up and do research, right? Let me move on. We are also seeing, robotic and artificial intelligence related technologies being developed. So now let's say if I want to copy your signature, let's say if I steal your checkbook, blank checkbook, now I need your signature to withdraw money from your account. Now what I will do is, I know you have signed in your leave application or you have signed in some other places. So what I will do is I will collect 5-10 of your old signatures which you have done in past. Now what I will do is I'll get these 5 or 10 signature which I have got, which you have done in past, and I will give it to a program which is a deep learning, machine learning based program which will learn your signatures. But now instead of printing the signature, because normal course people print these signatures using printer, color printer, but then there are solutions which can use to detect whether this is a human generated pen generated signature or a printer generated signature. And to avoid that, now what they are doing is they have trained a program using your signatures as input, and they have now robotic arms. In robotic arm, they can put the pen in their robotic arm hand. Now this robotic arm will execute a signature by learning from your old signatures. So the new signature has been learned from your signatures. New signature is being done by a pen which is there in the robotic arm's hand. So it is not a printed signature. It has been learned and imitated using your own signatures. So it becomes very, very difficult for any technology today to detect that a robotic arm based signature is fake. Most solutions will tell this is a correct, verified, genuine signature. No solution exists for something of that sort. So idea is, can we develop intelligent, artificial intelligence solutions to detect these kind of frauds? That is where I think more research, more work is required. And privacy violations are happening. There are a lot of privacy violation related frauds you might have heard. I'll not go into detail of that. But coming back, social media has brought distant people closer, but it is also creating distance between people who are close to each other. So we have thousands of friends, but we don't meet our own friends very often these days, right? Because we are so busy spending time on internet and digital technologies that this is creating problem for us. We should avoid that. Instead of chatting with friends, you should meet friends and talk to them. That is better for your mental and physical health as well. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to put a perspective to you. Can somebody tell me what you can see on the screen? Is it a modern art, blocks? What can you see? I'm sure you can see something, right?
This, 2 to 3 students are writing lift. Abhishek is writing puzzle.
Okay.
Mosaic, blocks.
Okay. So, let me do something. I am putting lines around it. So people can now read lift. This is L in white. This is I. this is F, this is T. Can you see lift? Most
Yes,
of
sir.
you? Even though I have removed lines, can you see lift now?
Yes, sir.
You were not able to see lift when lines were not there initially. But once I put lines and remove those lines, you can still see lift, although it was not the case initially, right? Why? Because now you know you have to look for characters, and characters are placed in white color on a black background, right? So once you know something, once you have seen something, next time it becomes easy, comfortable, comprehensible for you. Same is the case with cyber crimes. If you know how cyber criminals are doing cyber crimes, once you have found out their modus operandi, once you have known what is their strategy and how they lay their trap, once you have read through all these things, it becomes very easy for you. Until you have read it, until you have seen it, it is very difficult, right? So I'm here to change your perspective. I want to make you aware that how crimes happens. I want to make you aware that these things require solutions also. Both solutions which are non-technical solutions to avoid fraud, solutions which are technical solutions to detect and investigate these frauds, right? So here is the book. This is the front page of the book. It is available on Amazon. I'll also put a link in the chat box later. And I've written around 62 myths versus realities with stories, very small, relatable stories. And I think we've got good reviews, 5-star reviews. It's a bestseller in internet and social media category. So idea is, if you read through those small, relatable stories, those kind of frauds you can avoid. And you should spread the word about, how frauds are happening to your near and dear ones also. It's not that you are saved from a crime and then you are saved. Because criminal will do fraud to your near and dear ones, family, friends. Kids and elderlies are the main target these days, because those are the ones who are not tech savvy. Those are the ones who can be conned easily. So a lot of frauds are happening using very interesting ways, and those are listed down in this book, and you may probably order your copy if you wish. Okay, can you read it for me fast? Anyone? Can you read it fast?
Yeah, I couldn't believe that I could actually understand what I was reading. Using the incredible power of the human mind, according to research at Cambridge University, it doesn't matter in what
Sorry.
it doesn't matter in what it doesn't matter in what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter be in the right place. The rest can be a total mess, and you can still read it without a problem. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole. Amazing, huh? Yeah, and I always thought sleeping was important.
Very good. So see, you could read everything, but if you give this tricks to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, he will not be able to read. The reason, the difference is, once humans have a very interesting strategy, and they are very creative and intelligent. To save time, once they master something, they start to do it superficially. They don't go in detail. It's like driving. Once you learn driving, you work like an algorithm that press clutch, put gear, now do this and do that. Whereas once you have mastered driving, it is automatically happening. You don't have to remember and work like an algorithm, right? So again, it's like if I ask you which leg you put first when you get up in the morning, or which leg you put in your trouser first, left or right. You all do it every day. But if I have asked this question, you have to think, recall, and then answer. Why? Because it is happening subconsciously. So the idea is, humans do a lot of things using creativity, using intelligence subconsciously without going in detail. And since if you see this text, you are not reading it completely. Similarly, when I give you yahoo.com, you will not read everything. You will assume it is YAHOO. So those zeros will be converted as OO in your mind because of your intelligence. And that is where criminals do a lot of fraud. So the idea is, we have to at times leave behind our intelligence, be a little more cautious, be a little more apprehensive while transacting in digital world. So we need to be sure that this kind of intelligence can be misused against us by criminals, right? So I also work in the area which is known as forensics. Basically, forensics is nothing but application of scientific techniques to detect and fix a crime. To detect and fix over here means you have to find out whether the crime has happened or not. And once you know the crime has happened, you have to find out who did it. And how can it not happen again? What can you do to the system so that next time these kind of frauds can be stopped? Basically, what we do in case of digital forensics or forensics is we try to reconstruct the sequence of event of past. We try to find out what might have happened at that point of time. And once we identify all those things, we put them into on a timeline to find out what was the story, what was the modus operandi of using which the crime is happened. So in case of digital forensics, it is about application of computer science for investigation of cyber incident. As I told, if there is a photograph or a video which has been morphed or doctored or artificially generated or changed, you have to use image processing techniques. And you will develop an using image processing technique, a software which will use AI and machine learning also to find out flaws in those images, to find out which pixels have been tinkered with, whether the light source is common or not. So you use core computer science to develop the solutions for a image fraud or a audio fraud, and that is where you need to be very you need to understand that it is not something which is different. It is only that you have to understand how to apply your computing knowledge to develop this kind of solution. Right? So now let me bust some of the myths which you might be having. I'm sure everybody thinks social media is fun. It is fun, but it depends on various factors. Whether are you using social media in a way that it can't be misused against you? Because otherwise, what will happen is people will misuse it, including companies, right? Do you know how much Google knows about you? Okay, can everybody recall where were you at the same point of time today at this moment 1 year back? Do you remember exactly 1 year back at this point of time where were you and what were you doing?
No, sir.
Google knows that. So if you ask Google, and if you have a smartphone which is Android phone in which you have logged through Google, it will track everything. It will freak you out if you know how much information Google, Facebook, and all these websites are collecting about you. You can actually download it. If you go to takeout.google.com and log in, you can actually download all the data about you, and it will be typically 5 to 10 GB for each one of us. It will have details of which hotel you went, how did you make payment, what did you order, everything. It will have, you might have taken photograph of the food you are eating, and you might have used an app to pay. All the data. You have used Google Map to reach to a place. GPS was on, so it will know your GPS locations are recorded. So everything will be recorded. Ideally, what should you do is you go to takeout.google.com, download everything offline, and then delete it from Google. At least this will stop misuse. In case somebody gets access to your Google account, he can't download it for you, right? So again, people think they can be trained for investigating computer frauds and cybercrime. Answer is yes, but you require bootstrapping. Bootstrapping means you need to do some specialized course. So let's say you've done BTech computer science or master's or graduation in computer science. You will need some 3 months, 6 months of training of how to investigate a computer fraud. Once you have been trained, you can definitely become an investigator. And you need constant updation, reading and research, because technology changes very, very fast. So if you know what are the solutions which exist, how things are changing, and if you keep on training yourself parallelly, yes, anybody can be trained to become investigator of computer frauds and cybercrime. This I will skip. Okay, this is important. Press delete and data is gone. Or let's say press shift delete, or let's say format, or let's say if you repartition, or worse, you break the hard disk, or you break the CD in 4 pieces. Do you think data is gone? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Data is not gone. If you do delete, I can get in 1 second. If you do shift delete, I can get in 10 minutes. If you do format and repartitioning in few hours, if you break open the hard disk and break the CD in 4 pieces, I can get it in 10 days to 15 days max. So whatever you do, the data once you create it, digital data once you create it, can always be recovered. Only thing is, it may become little difficult. It may take more time. It depends on what have you done to the data. But data once created always remains. So recovery will depend on capability, knowledge, skill, resource, and motivation of the person wanting it back. It is not that it can't be retrieved. So you need to be very careful. Never create a piece of electronic data, video, audio, or text which you do not want to retain forever, because it may come back and haunt you. So what happens today is, embassies, while giving you visas, they mind your social media. When you're applying for jobs, the companies, HRs, they do a lot of search about you on your social media to find out what kind of personality you have. Are you, are you indulging in drugs or not? Or, how responsible you are, whether you are lying or not lying, whether you are pretending or not pretending. These kind of things can be made out by mining about you on social media. So you need to be very careful that, we should not do something like that. One reason I'll tell you. So many times people share a lot of intimate photos and videos with friends in good faith. So let's say one person A has sent something which is a private photo or a private chat to person B in good faith, and later on after a few months it was leaked, and then the person A and B fight with each other, blaming each other that you have leaked it, which may not be the case. What happened is, in some of these cases, what happens is the person B has bought a new phone, and by doing factory reset and given his old phone in exchange. So any phone which is given in exchange today is taken for data recovery, and these criminals recover all the data from all the phones which are coming as second-hand phones. After extracting data, they go through all photos, videos. There could be a photograph of a credit card. There could be password in the WhatsApp chat. So they recover everything. Try to understand what all can be misused. They will get photographs and videos, and if they are objectionable photos and videos, they will blackmail people. They will upload to take revenge or to monetize it. So the idea is, do not create any piece of electronic data which can come back and haunt you. That is the best way to prevent such kind of problems. Second is, if you have to, if you're buying a new phone, do not give your phone as a second-hand phone or in exchange. Rather, what you can do is, you can download free software which can convert your phone to a CCTV camera. So now you're changing your phone because it is not having enough battery storage capability, or it is old, or sensors are not good, or something like that, right? It is slow. But you can do a factory reset, and after that you can connect it to a power source in your home and install a free software which can convert it to a CCTV camera and connect to your Wi-Fi router. Now this is a CCTV camera free of cost installed at your home, and which is doing very good job, instead of giving it out where somebody can extract data and misuse the data. Right, so such stories I've written in the book also. So date and timestamps I'm skipping. This is out of, okay, this is important. We think criminals are techo geeks. What do you think? People who know a lot about computer frauds will only do frauds? No, anybody can do frauds. People who don't know much about technology can download tools from internet, and they can do social engineering related fraud, they can do keylogger based fraud, and I will again skip something here, but it is not very difficult to commit identity thefts also. So people make a lot of fake documents, fake driving license, you scan my change photo and name and take a reprint. Skimmers are there. I told about fake ATMs. This is interesting. If you see point 3, key fobs. Today modern day cars require your key fob to be in your pocket, and the door opens as soon as you go near to the car. Now what people are doing is, let's say if I have to do a fraud, I will bring one of my friend with me. We both will have a transmitter and a receiver. And now what we will do is, where do you put your key fob of the car? In the key holder which is near to your door. Now what I will do is, one person will stand near your car, one person will come to your house door, and he will have this receiver which he will put near to your door, assuming the car key is transmitting the signal which can be picked up by this receiver and transmitted to the other walkie-talkie kind of device to the other person who is standing near the car door. In some cases, once the signal is picked up, the car can be unlocked and started and can be taken away. The solution is, do not put your key fob at the door. Put your key holder inside the center of the house, because they have a very small range where they transmit data. Do not have it at the entry point of your house, because from there the signal can be emitted out very easily and captured by the receivers. Right, so anti-forensics also people do. I am again going to skip it. Internet and gaming addictions I have discussed. it is becoming dangerous. People are addicted to games, and they are taking dangerous selfies to make videos on TikTok or Instagram, and this is very dangerous. We must understand that life as well as doing things is important rather than taking videos, audios, and playing games, which may get you instant fame. You may get many likes and all those things, but then that is like a dopamine. It is not going to help you in long run. You should rather do good activities, help out each other, talk to each other, and that will help you. So in today's world, survival is the most important mantra, right? So if you can't survive computer frauds, the only way to survive is by going through how these frauds are being done by the criminals, by understanding their modus operandi. That is the only way to survive, right? UPI based frauds are happening. A lot of UPI based frauds are happening where they are changing only one letter. If you see here, PM Cares versus PM Care, only one particular letter difference has made where the Prime Minister was requesting to donate in case of helping people survive COVID and funds were being collected. So the fake UPI ID was circulated by criminals so that people can do donations to that ID and it will go to criminals. Free I have discussed. Juice checking is where your phone you are connecting to free wires to get your charger done. I have discussed this. I have also discussed about lost and found USBs. Again, I am skipping this. So hardware keyloggers are also being used. You know what people do? They will come and visit you and they will put a small keylogger at the back of your computing device or a CPU where the keyboard is connected. So keyboard is now connected at the back of your computer through this small connector, which you will never check. And they are also very cool. So I tell most people that prevention is better than cure. It is also applicable in digital world. We are not taking enough care in digital world, and that is where frauds are happening. These are some of the good resources where you can get information about computer frauds and cyber crimes and technological enhancements which are happening, and also how people are solving these kind of crimes. Right. So once upon a time, it was the case that if you are wealthier, you are immune to the crime because you have a lot of people to safeguard you. But today it is different. If you are wealthy, people will come after you using technology. They will connect to and they will break in through internet, through your router, your phone, and try to do fraud against you. Right? So I'll again conclude that you may refer the book for more details because I can't discuss all 100, 200 small stories in a 1 hour talk. Feel free to refer to the book where you can get all these tips. I can be reached on this email, gauravg@gov.in. I will post my LinkedIn profile as well as book details in the chat. So in case you are interested, you can connect to me on LinkedIn. I will be happy because I keep sharing relevant posts which can be of use to you. So feel free to connect to me. And if you have any questions, I will be happy to take them.
Yeah. So I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude for the informative and mentally stimulating session that you led. Thank you, sir. Thank you for instilling curiosity. Now we will have question answer round, guys. So you all can type your question in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and you will be called upon to ask your question. Sagar, you can ask a question.
Yeah, I have a question that sir told us that, good evening, sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Sir told that we can recover any data from any storage device. So let's suppose I have a CD of 1 GB and I have stored data in that. And then I completely erased that and I again filled different data in that. And after that, the CD has got filled. After that, we can recover the data from that CD.
Yes, it's a good question. If you overwrite data, overwritten data retrieval also is possible. It is time consuming. It will take a lot of money because you require a very specialized software and hardware. which means let's say if you're storing 1, 1 actually means some kind of voltage. For example, let's say, let me represent 1 by 1 volt and 0 by 0.5 volt. If I overwrite 1, 1, it will not be 1 volt, it will be 1.1 volt. If I overwrite 0 over 0, it will not be 0.5 volt, it will be 0.4 volt. If I overwrite 1 over 0, it will not be 1 volt, it will be 0.9 volt. So if I read bit by bit using scanning electron microscope and note down the voltages, I can actually understand and get what you have overwritten, what was the previous layer. But it is, as I told, it depends how much time, money, effort and knowledge you have to recover data. If it is a national security case and $1 million money is not an issue, I can recover overwritten data. But normal data which has been deleted or reformatted and partitioned can be done very easily in very small cost.
Okay, so one more doubt. Where that data stored in that CD, in any device, where that data will store?
So what I'm saying is, if you write 1 and you write 1 over 1, it becomes 1.1. If I get 1.1 voltage, I am sure that it is right now 1 and previously also it was 1.
Okay, thank you so
So I
much,
can
sir.
regenerate it.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Sir, Rohan is asking that how do we know that we have been hacked?
Okay, so see, if you have been hacked, a person is hacking you for a reason. Either he is using your computer and bandwidth. For example, let's say if I want to do Bitcoin mining, I will require a lot of computing power, lot of heat will be generated. Because of those computers, I will require a lot of AC. It will be very costly. I will write a program. I will install a bot by hacking many of the computers, and I will run my Bitcoin mining in their computers. So your computer, your electricity, your ACs are being used to do a Bitcoin mining for me, which means your computer performance will go down. Your consumption of power will go high. So anytime you are thinking your computer is not performing well, chances are you have been infected. That is the best way to know about it. Otherwise, why will somebody compromise, right? So the criminal will do it for a reason, and those reasons will give it out to you.
Sir, Shubham is asking, what about the ones who don't even know about technology?
So those who don't know about technology should read the book. Reason is, I've written there non-technical ways of surviving fraud, right? There are 2 things. Tech-savvy things, as I told you, if you put your PIN wrong in ATM, it is a non-technical way of avoiding fraud. You can always you could always have a technical way of surviving fraud. So idea is, all those people who are not tech-savvy should read the book, and once you read the book, you tell about the modus operandi to the criminals. So I also say one famous quote which I've written in the book is, the best way to take revenge against cyber criminals is to make sure that modus operandi is known to everybody, so that it cannot work anymore. And that is the way you can survive these fraud.
Thank you, sir. Guys, due to lack of time, we will just take one more question. Mayank Dikshit, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving me such a wonderful session, sir. My question is, sir, how we identify a phishing person around us? Because, sir, it is a proactive steps towards avoiding a cyber crime.
See, most of the time, phishing means somebody is sending you something and you are clicking on it. So even if you are getting, let's say if I'm sending you something, let's say if I'm sending you a book link, right? So there could be a phishing link. So idea is, you either can click on that link, but if you type that yourself instead of clicking the link, chances are that O versus 0 kind of things which can be misused will not happen, right? So if you, instead of clicking on the book link which I'm pasting in the chat link, you should go to Amazon and type cyber unsafe book, which means now I can't fish you. So if you never click some link rather than type on your own, that makes your life easy. Again, going on LinkedIn, you search Dr. Gaurav Gupta forensics, you will get me, instead of directly clicking the link which I have just now pasted. Although this is not a phishing link.
No, sir. My doubt is how we identify a person who is doing a cyber crime.
So for that, you need to now find out who might have set up this server. If you are, whenever you do something, there are some footprints you are leaving, right? So if I'm buying a phishing server where I'm putting a phishing link, that phishing link needs to, that services has to be bought. I'm using some kind of credit card to pay for the services. So you need service provider help. You need to probably file an FIR. You need to probably file a complaint to cybercrime police stations, and you can file complaint on cybercrime.gov.in also. This is a government platform where you can report crimes. They will contact the hoster of that particular website or server, or the people who are having more details. Who is the person who is using these services? What is the IP which is being used to administrate this particular web server? And then that person can be called. As an individual, you need service law enforcement help to do this.
Thank you so much, sir.
Right. So if you have more questions, you can always mail to me. You can again post questions on my LinkedIn profile. And once you read book, I think half of the questions will go away. And there will be research ideas or the solution ideas also you can get on the book. Right.
Yes, sir. Just one last question. I would like to request Ajay sir to kindly ask the question.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you, Guru sir. It's a wonderful information you have shared with us. I have one query about the data management. Like from the every hardware, from the every situation, we can get our data back.
Yes.
It will take a time. That's a different constraint, but we can take our data back. We can get our data back. But what about if we can manage our free space and shuffle the data after writing the data, just like a defragment of the hard disk or something? So will it work for us?
Yeah. So what happens is you can do that as long as your drive is in your control and I don't have access to it. You can do this. But there are intelligent softwares today. Once I get your drive, I can actually try all possible combination and try to get your data back. So your data still can be compromised if somebody has access to your devices. But that is but then this is still better than not doing anything, because as I told, criminals are very creative but lazy. If I'm getting thousands of people data without doing any effort, why will I go and specifically target you and try to recover your data when it is not easy to recover? So if you make it difficult, chances are you will be those 2% of people who are not falling for the crimes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Now I request everyone to kindly switch on their cameras so that we can take some beautiful screenshots of the session. Yeah, thank you guys. Please switch on your cameras. Just a minute. Fine, we have taken the screenshots. So I hope you all have filled the feedback form. You will get your certificates, or I think you may have received them also. Now I invite Preeti ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
It's my privilege to thank Dr. Gaurav for such a illuminating and such an interesting talk. So the topic is such that the questions can be endless. So we'll pick up the questions from the chat and we'll mail them to you, and then your answers to all our participants. It's been really wonderful and insightful and of course, very interesting. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invite at such a short notice and talking to us.
Thank you.
We have, we intend to have and we wish to have some more sessions with you in future. Looking forward to the same.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, I also express my deep gratitude to all those who have joined us today and made this webinar a success. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all the participants. See you soon again with a new topic, which is equally interesting.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.